Good day everyone. For today's video, I'll be going to discuss the work, energy, and power. Now, let's discuss work. Work is said to be done when a force applied to an object moves that object. Para mag-qualify ang force na gumawa ng work to an object, kailangan ng displacement or movement into that object. There are three ingredients to work: the force, displacement, and cause. So, the work equation or the formula would be work is equal to multiplying the force, which is the F, by the movement of the object, which is the D. So, kapag wala ang force sa problem, pwedeng palitan ng weight or mass. Kapag wala namang displacement, pwedeng ipalit ang height. If a body gets displaced by D when a force F acts on it, then work is equal to force times displacement times cosine theta. The value of theta is the difference between the direction of the force and the direction of the displacement. We also have a negative work, wherein this refers to the force that prevents the object from going on its original displacement. So, the standard unit of work is 1 joule. 1 joule is equal to 1 Newton times 1 meter, or 1 J is equal to 1 N times N. So the example for work is pulling a box. We will be getting the mass of the box. And then we will pull the box. And measure the displacement. And also calculate for the theta. And calculate to the work that is done to the object.
So for work, I choose to pull a box for me to be able to discuss the work clearly. So these are the materials needed and the steps I followed. So these are the measured and calculated given. So yung mass ng box is 5 kg, yung acceleration is 2 meters per second squared based dun sa timer, and yung measured displacement is 2 meters. And bago tayo pumunta dito, calculate muna natin yung force. Yung force is equal to mass times acceleration. Substitute lang natin yung given dito sa formula at makukuha natin ang 10 newtons. So, focus kayo sa drawing na to. This line represents the rope na kung saan pag hinila mo, hindi siya tataas. Yung box hindi tataas, kundi yung box pupunta dito. So, this represents the force. So, paano nga ba natin makukuha yung 45 degrees? So, this drawing, ilagay mo siya sa set of angles na kung saan makukuha mo is 135 degrees. Yung direction of the force and the direction of the displacement is 180. Pag subtract mo sila, so makukuha mo na yung value ng angle, which is 45 degrees. So pagkatapos nyan, di ba pag hinila mo to, hindi siya tataas. So nandito yung force. So in a triangle, this one represents the hypotenuse, this one represents the adjacent, and this one represents the opposite. So, regarding na yung opposite kasi wala naman siyang place dito. So, kailangan nating isolve yung adjacent na considered as force also. So, this would be our formula, and ilagay mo lang yung given dito sa formula at makukuha natin na yung adjacent side, which is considered as force, is equal to 7.07 newtons. So, ngayon, ikakalculate na natin yung work. Tapos, substitute lang natin yung 7.07 newtons, tapos yung displacement na 2. Ang makukuha natin is 14.14 joule. Pwede din naman ganito. Force times displacement cosine theta. So, substitute natin yung 10, this one, yung displacement 2, tapos yung nakuha nating cosine theta, yung value ng angle, which is 45, at pareho din naman yung sasagot natin. So, the calculated work that is done to the object is 14.14 joule.
So now, let's proceed to energy. Energy is the capacity for doing work. It makes use in potential, kinetic, thermal, electrical, chemical, nuclear, or other various forms. There are moreover heat and work. energy in the process of transfer from one body to another. So energy is the capacity for doing work. We have the kinetic energy, a form of energy that an object or particle has by reason of its motion. So, the formula of kinetic energy is 1/2 times mass times velocity squared. And in potential energy is the energy held by an object because of its position relatively to other objects, its stresses within self, its electrical charge or other factors. So the formula of potential energy is mass times gravitational force times height. And for mechanical energy, it is the energy that is possessed by an object due to its motion or due to its position. So the formula would be combined kinetic energy and potential energy. So the unit for energy is joules, which is name of honor of James Prescott Joule. And for the energy, you will be doing riding a bike. First is to get the mass of the bike and the person. Combine them. And ride the bike.
Measure now the distance for the velocity.
Calculate now the kinetic energy.
Energy, I choose to ride a bike as an example for me to be able to discuss the energy clearly. So this is an example of kinetic energy. These are the materials needed and the steps I followed. So the calculated and measured given are mass 1, yung mass ng bike, which is 12 kg. Mass 2, yung mass ng tao. Mass ko is 40 kg. And the sum of them is 52 kg. And the calculated velocity based sa timer is 2 meters per second. So this would be our formula for kinetic energy. 1/2 times mass times velocity squared. So, substitute lang natin yung given dito sa formula. So, pag in-input na to sa calculator, ang makukuha natin is 104 joule. So, the calculated kinetic energy using the combined mass of the person and the bike is 104 joule.
And last, we have the power. Power is the amount of energy transferred or converted per unit time. In the International System of Units, the unit of power is watt, equal to 1 joule per second. In other words, power is sometimes called activity. Is the rate kung gaano kabilis nagawa ang work or activity. So the power equation or formula would be power is equal to work divided by time interval. So the standard unit of power is watt. Watt is equal to 1 joule per second. And for the power, we will be climbing a tree. First is to get the mass of the person and measure the height of the tree. And now climb the tree and make sure that you are stepping to the measured height. And now, calculate the work done and the required power.
So for power, I choose to climb a tree as an example for me to be able to discuss the power clearly. So these are the materials needed to perform this activity and these are the steps I followed. So these are the calculated and measured given. The mass of the person is 40 kg, yung height ng tree is 3 meters, and the given acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 meter per second squared, and the time interval based sa timer is 22 seconds. So, para ma-compute natin yung power, kailangan muna natin compute yung work. Kasi nga, yung formula ng power is work divided by time interval. So, paano natin siya makukompute kung hindi natin alam yung work? So, first, we need to calculate the work. So, di ba, yung formula ng work is work is equal to force times displacement. Pero sa given natin, wala tayong force and displacement. But, we can use the mass, height, and the acceleration due to gravity para ma-solve yung work. So, substitute lang natin yung given dito sa formula. And we will get the 1,176 joule that is work done when climbing a tree. So, alam na natin ngayon yung work. Pwede nating i-compute yung power that required of a person in climbing the tree. So, power is 1,176 joule divided by 22, which is the time interval. So, pag in-input na yun sa calculator, ang makukuha natin is 53.45 joules per second. So, yung required power para makaakyat ng puno yung tao is 53.45 joules per second.
Or 53.45 watts because 1 joule per second is equal to 1 watts.